Here we go with this again. Here we go. Our kids are not even safe in school. I've been telling everyone I have the solution to end school shootings. Period. I can end it. Before I tell you how to end it, hear me out. Listen to me with an open mind and just really think about this objectively and don't get in your feelings, all right? I don't care if you're pro-gun. I don't care if you're anti-gun. Just listen, all right? Just listen. All right, so I'm sorry, I'm a little caught up in this. Like, my thoughts are in a mess right now. But what I'm going to say is, when you look at a courthouse, when was the last time you saw a courthouse shooting? There was Brian Nichols, and there was this one in Salt Lake City, Utah. In both of those instances, the police, law enforcement, were the people who brought the guns in that were used in those shootings. Think about that. Brian Nichols happened back in Atlanta. This one happened in like 2018 in Salt Lake City, Utah. The police, with the Brian Nichols situation, he took a gun from a police officer, unalived a bunch of people, and went on a run. In the Salt Lake City joint, a guy dove at someone with a pen, and the deputy shot him 4 times, completely unaliving him. So, both of those shootings were by law enforcement. So, if we've only had 2 courthouse shootings that were directly or indirectly caused by the police, but we've had tons of school shootings, what's the difference? It's illegal to commit murder. It's illegal to bring a gun in a school. It's illegal to bring a gun in a courthouse. So why does it happen in the schools, but not in the courthouse? I'm going to tell you why. Because the schools have signs, and it's federally illegal. Hey, it's not illegal. It's not legal to bring a gun in here. You cannot legally bring a gun in here. They tell you. On the other hand, with the courthouse, they tell you, but they also enforce it. You go to a courthouse, there is a metal detector. There are armed law enforcement officers with vests on. They have guns, they have vests. They prevent you from bringing a gun in. A law that is not enforced is merely a suggestion. Why do judges and lawyers deserve that level of safety and protection, but our children don't? Can you give me a rational reason why our children can't get the same level of safety and protection? Will you turn it into a prison? No, you're not. No, you're not. Kids can come and go as they please, but we need to make sure they are safe. You notice with airplanes, ever since 9/11, have you ever heard of a single American airline, not the airline, but like, any American airline company having a shooting? No. Do you know why? Because they prevent the guns from getting on the plane in the first place. It only takes a modicum of thought to come up with this. But why can't we do this for our children? The airlines make sure that, in fact, the pilots have something called a sterile cockpit. While it's in the air, no one can get in that isn't the pilot or the co-pilot. Why can't we do this for our children? Why can't we prevent weapons from being brought onto school campuses? You can literally walk to a school. You can literally walk to a school. And you know what happens when you walk to that school? You could just walk on in. You can walk in. How does that make sense? People might even hold the door for you to walk in. How does that make sense? You can't do that with a courtroom. You can't do that at the airport. They have security checkpoints. Why do you think there's no shootings in airports and virtually no shootings in courthouses? But our kids don't deserve that. I'm a father of two. I have a 1.5-year-old and I have an 11-year-old. It scares me to think that this could happen. People want to argue about laws. It's already several laws being broken. You say, well, we need to change these gun laws and make them tighter. But California has more mass shootings than Texas. Almost double. So obviously gun laws aren't the problem. It's obvious, the data. It will have worked in other countries. We're not other countries. None of these countries have had a gun problem as serious as ours. None of them. It's not really a gun problem. It's more so a people problem. It's like Americans are inherently extra violent. Many of these video games, and I'm not saying the video games cause it because I've never done anything. I've never committed crimes, but I've played violent video games. I don't want to do that. That's fantasy. That's not real. But many countries ban these things. They don't have these problems. Why do we? If gun laws were the answer, California wouldn't be leading in mass shootings. DC's murder rate would not have dropped when they ended the handgun ban. It's insane. And then people want to ban guns because of cosmetic appearance. And they don't even call them assault rifles anymore because, we've already pierced that bubble. Those aren't assault rifles. They're just semi-automatic rifles. But then they say assault style. So you're going to ban a gun because of cosmetic appearance? How about we do something that's going to save our children? What do you want to do most? Do you want to save our children or do you want to ban guns? Personally, I want to save our children. That's what's most important to me as a father, saving our children. So why don't we do this? Those same security measures we put on planes, those same security measures we do at the courthouse, why don't we do it at schools? Anything it's worth trying anything. And if people say, let's just ban the guns. But if you ban guns, realize that a ban is really just a law. And these people have already shown us they don't respect the law. They respected the law, they wouldn't be in here shooting up schools like some miscreants, some degenerates. I hate people like that. Hate is a strong word, but I hate them. Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. That's how I feel about people that do stuff like that. Then we can't get rid of guns completely because we have something called the Fourth Amendment, which protects us from illegal search and seizure. They can't just search you without probable cause. So anyone could have guns. You can't enforce that. Then, let's say that you do find out who has guns and you take those guns illegally, of course, there's a hell of a lawsuit right there. Then you have to deal with the ghost guns. People can get a 3D printer and make their own guns. It's happening. Google ghost guns. There's no putting the toothpaste back in the tube. So the best thing to do is to protect our children, our most valuable resources. Please stand with me in protecting our children.